Airtel app the smart way. Download today on the App Store or the Google Play Store.
Good evening and thank you so much for keeping it with us. Welcome to UBC News Tonight, the second edition. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. Let's start with a look at the top stories. Presidents Museveni and Ramaphosa pledged full support to the business between Uganda and South Africa. Speaker of Parliament Anita Mong admits being a beneficiary of the Iron Sheet saga. Parliament of Uganda to retable the anti-homosexuality bill. While in sports, Wakiso Giants to play Vipers SC in the round of 16 Uganda Cup. Yes, thank you so much for tuning in and welcome aboard. It's News Tonight. President Yoweri Museveni and his South African counterpart Cyril Ramaphosa have pledged to cooperate and promote trade and the economy between the two countries, Uganda and South Africa. They made their commitment at the closure of the South African Business Summit in Pretoria.
The summit was promoting trade and commerce between the two countries and was attended by MPs and dignitaries from Uganda and South Africa. At the closing ceremony, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa welcomed Ugandan counterpart Yoweri Museveni.
Important opportunity to receive you, Your Excellency, to South Africa after you were last here about 11 years ago.
There was a discussion between the leaders of the two countries and businessmen on issues related to trade and development. Ramaphosa said there is nothing to prevent trade from booming between the two countries and he pledged to maintain the brotherhood with Uganda.
The Africa Continental Free Trade Area is one such instrument that the people of our continent are meant to use to get prosperity. And it is good that people of President Museveni's generation see this new vehicle and instrument, which is the AfCFTA, as a very powerful instrument that we can use.
The issue of Pan-Africanism has been at the forefront, and President Museveni said this is an important step in the economic and trade development of the two countries.
When we say, please, Pan-Africanism, issue number one is to deal with the issue of prosperity. Prosperity through the sale of goods and services to as many people as possible. That's how you become prosperous. The second question is, do you want security, strategic security, against all threats? Now, if you think Uganda can be secure alone, then you are deceiving yourself.
Museveni is hopeful that if African countries move together, they are destined to the first world economic state. Businessmen and women operating in the two countries are convinced that the summit will open Uganda's products to the world market.
Uganda and South Africa have had long historical relationships. There has been trade. The history of trade between the two countries is clear. But what we are saying now is, why don't we trade and increase investments within Africa, within our sister countries? Because we already have cultural links, language links. So it's easier for us to understand each other and trade with each other. So what we expect from this summit is increased investments from South Africa to Uganda. They have gone up the value chain of most of their agricultural or raw materials, including minerals, which we have a lot of in Uganda. How can we work together with the South African investors to come to Uganda?
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
Speaker of Parliament Anita Among has told the House that the controversial iron sheets were not diverted in bad spirit. The Speaker, who admits being among those that benefited from the said iron sheets, had no clear address, says that the iron sheets had no clear address and the diversion should not be blamed on anybody. Anita Among says that she did not use the iron sheets for her own benefit, but distributed them to schools in Bukedea which needed them.
As Parliament resumes business, Speaker Anita Among has pronounced herself on the iron sheets saga, which matter has kept moving from hill to hill. The Bukedea woman member of Parliament, Anita Among, admits reception of about 2,000 iron sheets without her request.
Let everybody carry his own cross.
The Speaker's name was cited in the list which spread on various media among the beneficiaries of the iron sheets bonanza. However, Speaker Among disagrees with the position that the sheets were diverted, saying they had no clear direction and guidelines about the received sheets.
It is not anybody's fault. I saw iron sheets in Bukedea. I did not ask for them, but I ordered that they should be given to schools. Innocently. I did not open a shop, sell them, but they were given to schools, government schools. So I don't want other ministers to be pulled into what they are not concerned.
This also comes at a time when the Speaker, during the Parliament recess, directed that the saga be investigated by the Presidential Affairs Committee of Parliament and report in 2 weeks. The MPs, including Uganda-South Member of Parliament Jonathan Odu and the Leader of Opposition Matthias Mpuga, challenged the Speaker, saying the petition which she referred to the committee should have passed through the House.
But I want to underscore the fact that every petition that comes to this House must, one way or the other, find itself laid on the table here, so that members of Parliament can then understand what are the issues, substantive issues in those petitions.
And I would only like to pray that the petition is officially tabled, and should we believe that given the information available there's need for amendment of the prayers, or to even occasion another petition to rhyme with the original petition, it could be done to rhyme with the time frame given by the House. I don't know, Speaker.
That issue of Karamoja came when you were on recess, we were on recess. That's why we administratively first referred there. The petition will be laid on table.
As the House awaits tabling of the petition, the Presidential Affairs Committee has entered day 2 in its engagements with the relevant stakeholders.
So let's not say we stop the process, because the process of recovery is not a process pegged to a particular month. So I really would wish that we, for now, let us get the process clarified. Just like we said, the iron sheets were released in April last year, and up till now they haven't gotten. So even if we say the goods are released in September next year, it may take another 1 year. So can the process be clarified so that once we tell people prepare for this, there is security guaranteed, then we can actually be able to say they can actually be able to have it.
The committee, chaired by Ajumani woman Member of Parliament Jessica Ababiku, received evidence from the verification committee which was set aside in the distribution exercise of the controversial iron sheets among other leaders.
There was a very short time, as alluded to by the chairperson of Kotido, there was a very short time for this procurement process to be done, which I think should really we should be able to discourage. The procurement process must be elaborate, and that's when we can read these issues that have brought us here.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC News.
Buchiri Municipality Member of Parliament Asuman Basalirwa has been granted leave to introduce the Anti-homosexuality Bill of 2023. The bill seeks to prohibit all acts of homosexuality and draw penalties for both perpetrators and promoters of the vice.
We want to appreciate our promoters of homosexuality for the socio-economic development they have brought to the country in terms of economic, but we do not appreciate the morals that they are killing.
In 2013, Parliament passed the Anti-homosexuality Bill, and it was assented to by President Museveni. The bill, among others, defined penalties for anyone committing or aiding acts of homosexuality. This was later annulled by the Constitutional Court ruling in 2014 on grounds that it was passed without quorum in the House, something that called for celebrations by the LGBT community.
The group that went to court included Fox Odoi, who is NRM.
Although the country has a strong cultural ground, the upholding of this law 10 years later created a fertile ground for homosexuality to override culture non-prohibited. During the ecumenical prayer breakfast held at Parliament, Speaker of Parliament Anita Mong emphasized that Parliament will not sacrifice the country's decency to foreign aid.
We do not appreciate the values of Ugandans that they are destroying. We do not appreciate their money that they are bringing to destroy our cultures.
Dismayed with the 2014 court ruling, Speaker Mong echoed that Parliament will not just watch as the country's culture and decency is eroded at the cost of disguised human rights and foreign aid. During the plenary sitting this afternoon, Bugiri Municipality Member of Parliament Asuman Basalirwa was granted leave of the House to table the Anti-homosexuality Bill.
The Penal Code Act that the colonizers left in this country banned homosexuality, criminalized homosexuality. What we are trying to do is to look at the present circumstances and situations where there is now recruitment, promotion, and funding.
The essence of humanity is preservation of life, which is only guaranteed through procreation.
The Speaker called upon members of Parliament to support the bill for the cause of the people and warned all MPs tapping funds from acts of homosexuality.
I want to tell this country, this time when we are voting, people will vote by show of hands. This business of people running away, we will not allow that issue. You're either with us or you're with the Western world.
A section of members had mixed reactions.
Homosexuality is not in any legislation, and therefore we must also make it an offense for those who are promoting this amongst our children today.
As soon as this law is passed, there will be another group to go and have it annulled.
It's worth noting that acts of homosexuality not only cause physical damage to the body, but also lead to emotional and psychological damage. The act is also condemned by the scriptures, as it's the reason that led to the destruction of the city of Sodom and Gomorrah. Susan Nawanga reporting for UBC TV.
The High Court in Kampala has dismissed the bail application of Francis Onebe, accused of murdering his wife, the late Immaculate Mary Blessing Asir. Justice Michael Elubu will rule in this matter, although the accused Onebe alleges to have hypertension. This does not satisfy court to release him on bail. Meanwhile, prosecution has presented to court written evidence in the matter where 8 people are accused in the attempted murder of General Edward Katumba Wamala, his daughter and driver.
Businessman Francis Onebe appeared at High Court Criminal Division in Kampala to hear the ruling in his bail application before Judge Mike Erubo. Judge Mike Erubo declined to grant Francis Onebe bail on grounds that, though the accuser alleges grave illness of hypertension, this doesn't satisfy court to grant him bail.
They refuse to grant bail to person accused of offense despite the subsection 2 if he or she does not
Court ordered prosecution to speed up with the investigations in this matter. Court will resume in April 2023 for pre-trial. The accused Francis Soneba has been remanded to Ruzula Government Prison. This is the second time court is denying bail to Francis Sonebe. In another development, prosecution has presented to court written evidence for marking in the matter where 8 people are accused in the attempted murder of General Edward Katumba Wamala, murder of his daughter Brenda Nantongo, and driver Aluna Kayondo. The evidence was presented to court by Lilian Omala and Richard Birivumbuka.
Expect to proceed with the inspection. We had started with the physical inspection, but out of the big 2 files, we did approximately half of one. We expect to do the same in order to confirm whether those exhibits are the same exhibits which our clients confirm or not confirm.
Defense legal team led by Geoffrey Tuliam Sima did not object to the evidence. Before the hearing of the matter, there was drama when defense declined to proceed with the pre-trial, while the accused were still handcuffed during the session.
Court believed and court agreed with us, and our clients were unchained while in court, and then thereafter we proceeded.
The case was before Judge Alice Kauka Komuhanj, who adjourned the matter to 21st March 2023 for further marking of evidence before confirmation of the charges against the accused. John Edward Katumba Wamala's daughter Nantongo Brenda and driver Luna Kai.
The Education Policy Review Commission has recommended on the publication of books that are impactful to the society to get rid of foreign intervention in the information disseminated in these books. This move is to ensure that publications promote information which relates to Uganda.
That's enough.
The Commission says there is a need by the Publication Association to embrace writing about Ugandan content depending on the societal difference of the readers to make learning easy.
I hope so. If each one went to visit school in his village, the good and the bad, maybe you'd help us to write a book that is relevant to the environment we are in.
Foreign intervention in the education sector was also hinted upon, and citizens urged to take part in school matters.
The World Bank said that there are no books in schools, that we don't have enough classrooms. Don't we see this ourselves? But when do you visit these schools? If I'm asked, maybe can you give me a list of the schools you have visited since January? Because the schools are going to open to see the actual need. In schools, the World Bank goes and visits them. You sit in Kampala wanting to read what they have published, and yet I think you are from different parts of Uganda.
Uganda faces consumption of inappropriate content from foreign donations, which is morally draining the young population.
Textbooks or books of some form which are literally irrelevant. And some of these ones come in the name of donation. Should we have a policy on the kind of donations that we receive? I had an experience where the school was packed with books which most of them were actually kind of pornographic.
However, the Uganda Publishers Association recommended on strengthening the public sector as a key role player in the publication of books.
This is very key. One, what we are saying is that we want the private sector to be key players as far as provision of instructional material to schools are concerned, because they bridge a gap.
That we can achieve independence in our education by funding it 100%. If I were a government, I would fund 2 sectors from national resources. I would fund culture, I would fund education.
Marion Awori and Daniel Lukomwa for UBC News.
State Minister for Water Aisha Sechindi has tasked local governments to come up with bylaws that curb environmental degradation. The minister urges that this will help strengthen the already existing national laws that stimulate desired results. Sechindi was flagging off members of the Uganda Workers Association who are slated to walk 320 kilometers journey from Chikube district to Kampala with the aim of creating awareness on the dangers of environmental degradation.
Ministry of Water and Environment has flagged off a group of workers to trek from Chikube district to Kampala in 11 days to create awareness on environmental conservation. The 320-kilometer trek starts from Kingfisher Development Area in Chikube district to Kampala. The lead worker, Geoffrey Yen, calls for collective efforts, with the public taking up the campaign for survival of humanity.
This walk is quite unique. If you look at the environment, we are right here at the oil and gas production site in Lake Albert. And when you look at the terrain, it's a bit challenging, but our workers are well prepared, and we know after walking this terrain for about 5-6 kilometers, the rest of the journey will be a walkover, because this is going to be part of our training as we move through this hard terrain.
State Minister for Water Aisha Sechindi flagged off the trek, which is an opportunity to observe realities on environmental degradation.
The workers will walk through the districts of Hoima, Champanzi, Chiroga, Mitiana, Wakiso, and back to Kampala, where they will reach on 10th. We are expecting you workers to the ministry headquarters.
The minister proposed the need for local governments to make bylaws criminalizing all forms of environmental degradation.
Let us sensitize our people. Let us make bylaws. In our district, Kalungu, we have already made bylaws protecting our environment. Anybody caught setting fire on the bush is supposed to be imprisoned for 2 years. And it is working, it has worked. At least now we are safe. We have already laws in place, but we need also our people on the ground. The implementers has to be supported by you people, the local leaders making other bylaws to support the laws.
Officials from Chikube District Local Government, National Forestry Authority, and other development partners were at the flag off.
That I'm appealing to everybody who is here for this cause, not to leave what we are talking here, but to go with it everywhere, to spread the gospel of mitigating climate change.
I wish I will be having reviews, periodic reviews of the past walks. What was the objective? How have we achieved what we worked for? Here we are again, we are walking. At the time T next year, we'll also be reviewing when we walk from Buhuka to Kampala, what achievements are visible.
Participants will, among others, engage in tree planting activities along the route Shaidat Nasakun. Dokas Kimono, UBC News.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Local Government, Benjamin Kumunya, has warned district service commissioners against corruption. He was addressing the Association of District Service Commissioners who were discussing the recruitment process in local government.
Any act done without reasonable excuse by a public officer, which amounts to failure to perform any duty assigned to him or her.
The Association of District Service Commissioners is responsible for appointment, promotion, and removal from office all employees except the Chief Administrative Officer and the Town Clerk. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Local Government, Benjamin Kumumanya, wants local government officials to end corruption.
Together with all agencies of the state to make sure we deal with these issues. But I think we need more information. We should not only stop at allegations, but we need information, and I want the First Estate to make a contribution in getting us more facts.
Kumumanya, however, appeals to the district service commissioners to file annual reports to local governments for proper accountability.
I have been asking for information. on how many people have you recruited, let's say in a financial year, and you structure them well, you structure them along teachers, along health workers, along others, so that this information is known that actually every day you are busy producing contributory instruments to Uganda, to government, to give service delivery. Today, if they asked anybody who is walking on the street on your role in service delivery, because of not making reports, somebody would have nothing to add.
The chairperson of District Service Commissioners Association, David Muduli, tipped against nepotism.
In submission, if the cow has a way of not submitting or submitting those, that we don't know. But for us, our work is to see that we have recruited the qualified candidates that will deliver service in the district.
Meanwhile, participants comment on challenges they incurred in delivering quality services and appealed for support.
The job description of an office attendant, a porter, a driver, they all mention somebody who has a UCE certificate. But in reality, if I take my district of Shema, I cannot advertise and get that person.
My complaint is only to my commissioners who have not been getting since they began up now. But I'm telling the public open that it is my commissioners, because of my encouragement, have been very positive, despite the fact that they are not getting their pay, but they do the work.
Justin Nakami for UBC News.
Sent transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN Mobile Money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda from Airtel. Now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes, 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. With Airtel, the smartphone network.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride.
This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation. She is the future of Uganda, and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. People in Jinja are confused, angry, homeless and feel cheated by a government which is responsible for their safety and enjoyment of freedom. Asians' properties are being sold under unclear circumstances. People are being evicted as investigations in some areas and in some cases are still ongoing. The second episode of the Custodian bullies profiles residents at Plot 1C who are on the verge of being evicted with use of forged documents.
My name's
Beni Kwagala is an elder and resident at Plot 1C. He occupied this house on orders of the former president of Uganda, Idi Amin Dada, in the early 70s. He was working with Amoco Company.
As he was touring, my machine I was working on, called the chopping machine, was not operating because I had not come yet in the factory. That was at 8 o'clock. So when I came a bit late. They told him now the operator has come. Let's go and see how that machine works. I was working on the shopping machine which makes sprints. When he came, he asked me, "My son, why have you come late? Kwa nini unakuja late?" I told him, "Sir, I'm staying very fine in Mafubira. I don't have a house in town here." He directed by then the governor, who was Mr. Okai, who was accompanying him, that he should try his level best to get a house in the town here. This is of departed Asian property. The very day the governor came back, he told me, "Ben, come, we have got a house for you." They brought me to the house. It has 4 apartments. They told me that is the house. Then I went back to the general manager. I told him the house they have got for me has 4 apartments.
This compelled him to formalize his residence in this building.
Then the general manager suggested that no, since that house is very big for you, let Amco take it over. And Amco took over that house. They normalized the documentation with the custodian board, and Amco started paying for that house in the custodian board.
All the occupants later applied for allocation to the custodian board and were granted permission since the property was not fully repossessed by the initial proprietors. This included Jayantilal Govinci Kotecha, Jayendra Govinci Kotecha, Rasik Govinci Kotecha, and Ramesh Govinci Kotecha, who were tenants in common in shares. Ewan Vijay Kotecha surfaced claiming to have repossessed the property using powers of attorney from the registered proprietors.
You had to come, apply, do this, notify ABCD, and you go through immigration, prove that you had ownership, ABC, and so on and so forth. All those provisions. People don't go in for that. They simply go and say, power of attorney. Powers of attorney were not allowed. Okay? Then somebody says, you see, by telegram, we repossess this property. Telegram.
The custodian board then directed for an investigation into the matter. Vijay Kotecha was not part of the 4 proprietors on the original certificate of ownership, but was sharing a name, Kotecha.
He told the management that he is the real owner of this property and he has repossessed it. So from that time, AMCO should be arranged to pay money to him as rent. AMCO, after considering his request, AMCO said, no, for us we are not going to pay you money, but we shall hand you over the people who are in that houses. If you can agree with them to pay money direct, AMCO has no problem. We discussed the matter with the Kotecha. He has said he agrees for me to start paying money directly to him. And all the others also agreed to pay money directly to him. So from 1995, I have been paying, I paid the rent directly to Kotecha up to 2019 July.
Muzusa and company advocates sued Ben Kwagala under duress for rent, but it is not clear whether they presented their documents to the Custodian Board for verification of ownership before taking the matter to the courts of law.
But the trying magistrate, the land trying magistrate, did not heed to my request. He went ahead and said, the case, you have lost in his ruling, he said that I must leave the place. The ruling was in the favor of Kotecha, and I should pay all costs to him.
I have no problem meeting you. My point is very simple, that it is better you meet with someone who has, let's say, an allocation letter to get it. That's that by the time you come, we are meeting, because me I'll be giving documentation. You get it? That's what I'm saying, that it is better like this. You come when you are prepared after getting a full story from the person claiming either ownership or saying that was evicted. You get it? So that in my response to you, it will be like clear, giving you paperwork and
This man is behind all these evictions that we're witnessing in Jinja City. And I want to believe that the Custodian Board is aware of all that. Why isn't this man inside? Why is he not arrested?
Sorry to say this. My brother, me myself, I've never seen Stephen Muzusa. I'm just seeing, I see him in documents here.
You have never met him personally?
Never.
Or even talking with him on phone?
I don't know his number. Why do I just hear Muzusa. I've never seen him like this. Like I'm seeing you here, my brother.
We have established that Kotecha signed an affidavit in 2020, yet he was away from Uganda.
The whole country was in total lockdown. The airport was not operating. All borders were closed. Why did he pass to come and make this affidavit?
Kwagala made an appeal to the High Court over the same.
And in the meantime, I also opened up another forgery case against Musuza because he used an affidavit which was forged in a court. But the DPP is frustrating me. The file up to now, he has not sanctioned that file. Is even intending to close the file that because I have not gone to immigration to bring the evidence from there. It is not me to go to immigration, it is the police who is investigating the case. And they are the one to go to immigration, bring the documents from there, which shows if Kotecha came here, because this man traveled with the plane and passport. The records are there.
We have also established that the certificate of title was faked to include Vijay Kotecha as the owner of the property.
Who is that man called Kotecha?
I don't know that Kotecha, because among the proprietors of Plot 1C, he's not there.
So you don't blame the tenants. The tenants are in the right places because these are government property. These are government properties, okay? And the tenant can be anywhere. Okay, you could be a trespasser if he's not paying, and so on and so forth. But if you find me in a place, somehow you either legalize or you tell me to quit through legal means.
Awajiji ne tutwala empapulezo anti-corruption ne tutwala empapulezo nga twekubirira endulu nga tumanyi nti abantu ab'omujinja ngobo tukimanyi bafuna ebintu ne bakozesa poliisi ne bakozesa ki ne batwindikitinga.
And the IG is investigating. We have a regional office in Jinja which has been investigating some of the cases, Our reports have been prepared in respect to the investigations that have been finalized. We have issued directives on certain cases.
At some point, you find someone has a receipt from Custodian Board, from Ministry of Finance. But when you trace very well, you get lost somewhere. You can't trace it up to the end.
We cannot just divulge into the issue without knowing what the genesis is. But we have a number of cases involved in Jinja City. About the evictions, nobody has brought that to our attention.
Era ekiwandiiko kye twawandika twagamba gavumenti kyetaaga eyambe eyingire mu nsonga zitumanye bano batuwandikira batya ekiwandiiko nga ne investigation ekitugoba nga ne investigation tezinnaba kuggwa. Custodian Board kize yasaba tusaba ebibeere ng'ebyambako tuleme kukozesebwa kukola loss ate ne gavumenti ereme kukozesebwa kukola loss.
And we normally handle on a case-by-case basis. If the eviction is corruption-related, please share with us. We rely on information the public gives us, and then we sanction investigations, yes.
N'olwekyo bwe twawandika ebbaluwa ezo teziddibwangamu amabaluwa gagenda mangi mu bitundu ebyenjawulo tetwafuna response.
So we have those lions in empty biriawo bitambulira galala. They are just there, they want to, they want to eat up everything. And moreover alone, they are not even thinking of the people. So my people of Jinja, we need to be very careful. Echigambo ayoko ibatera kwesaba mafia. But these are serious mafias, my dear. They are very serious. So if we don't butavayo ngabana idinda, we shall lose it.
A few elements are using their powers to suffocate the entire city. Easy. The moment you take the names, the next day you see that account blocking you. And these are government agencies doing this. They can't do investigations, nothing.
We have carefully examined these two documents and now make a comparison. The original certificate has 2 margins and stamps from the Ministry of Lands and is a certified copy from the Registrar of Titles. Everything else is similar, but there is alteration of stamps to include stamps of Commissioner of Oath and eliminating the 2 stamps on the original certificate. This is possibly how the change of ownership was fraudulently executed. After changing ownership to Vijay Kotecha, he sold the property to Hussein Kakande at a tune of 500 million Uganda shillings.
He had received 200 million. A balance of 300 million was to receive them after they have evicted us from the house.
Are you aware of that?
That one I'm not aware because I'm not there. I'm not party to that. 2022 Clive Road, they were demolished. Somebody has built a house on, is it Hussein? Somebody?
Yes.
But for us, we are going to sell that property.
And that is the man who bought 1C. Haji Hussein something.
Is it the same person?
Yes.
I pity him.
That is the same person.
Easiest I would advise him. Either run and clear up, legalize the one of 22 where he's building with the Custodian Board before we take on him.
This followed a notice of eviction, which was later executed to eject Ben and the family from the house.
Muziransa, who was his lawyer, came with the armed people, private guards, not Uganda police, but the private guards. In the morning around 8 o'clock, they wanted to evict us from the house. This we did not accept. We rang the RDC, who was in charge of security. RDC also informed the DPC, RISO, they all came to the property. They asked Muziransa, do you have a court order to remove these people from the house? He did not have it.
You have no court order? You have nothing? You simply come and say, I've told you to leave?
Whatever is taking place in Jinja City is known to many. The IGG has been written to in many cases. The Prime Minister, Minister for Finance, the Speaker of Parliament, the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, but the silence of these officers has left locals in harm's way.
Who owns, that property belongs to who? Who owns it?
Which one?
Confirm to us, plot 1C.
Plot 1 ceased for Custodian board because the rightful owners of that property never came back to the country.
Yes, that is another edition of the Custodian Bullies. We thank you so much for watching. Let us enjoy another short break, returning with business news.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Let me just send.
Yes.
Oh. Accessing your contacts the old way.
Yeah.
Accessing your contacts with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to access your favorite contacts right through the app. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride.
This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation.
She is the future of Uganda, and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Regulated by UCC.
We thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. It's now UBC Business News Tonight. More than 80% of Adjumani people are engaged in farming as the main economic activity, but the climate has hindered agricultural productivity in the area. Solar companies Ayuda in Action and Omio Agribusiness are promoting agriculture by introducing solar water pumps to support Adjumani farmers.
It faces a poor climate which has prompted companies dealing in solar company Ayuda in Action and Omio Agribusiness Development Group Limited to provide affordable water pumps to farmers. The Senior Energy and Marketing Manager Caesar Pauline said the project addresses agricultural productivity being piloted in Adjumani district. Adjumani is in the rain shadow where agriculture can thrive with irrigation.
And we have realized one of the issues that the community have there is that they have a lot of off-season comparing to other districts because they do not have enough rain, and even in rain season it's not that enough, so they still need the use of solar water pumps. As why not promoting renewable energy to protect the environment and to increase the productions in this year we are implementing a new project on renewable energy. This project is called Productive Use of Renewable Energy, and it's called that name because it's mainly focusing on increasing the productions in agriculture.
Chief Executive Officer for Agribusiness Development Group Limited, Ignashira Zaki Omia, said that they ensure farmers have ready market for their produce after harvesting. They need to ensure farmers access solar water pumps through outlets and village agents.
Also, we make sure that these farmers have access to markets after the production process. Farmers need the right technical support both at our outlets and in the farm to make good use of the inputs that they buy from us. Of course, we're going to be doing a lot, and part of it is training farmers and getting them to know about the solar water pumps, installing for them, doing repairs even after installation.
The project targets 100 solar water tanks to ensure farmers know the importance of water pumps in production. Mary Namkose, Stephen Kayumba, UBC News.
Day 2 of the Uganda Juniors International Challenge has seen Team Uganda get a glimmer of hope of getting some medals as 2 Ugandan players progress to the semi-finals. The competitions that started yesterday on the 27th of February at the Lugogo Indoor Stadium have seen over 50 games played among the 108 participants from 8 countries.
Ugandans Fadila Shamika and Abed Bukenya have reached the semi-finals in the Uganda Juniors International Challenge after defeating Mash Oman Khan from UAE in the women's singles and Vaish Rashan from Mauritius in the men's singles, respectively. In the men's doubles, Uganda is also in the medal brackets after Juna Dulupuli and Michael Nsubuga won the quarterfinals against their Mauritius counterparts. However, Tracy Naluwoza lost at the quarterfinals to UAE national Taiba Khan, hence dropping out of the competition.
I didn't play any serious match till quarters, and I feel like she has given me a boost on the court to go and perform better in my semis.
The tournament was okay, just have to improve, especially in my quarters. The person I lost to, it's a lesson that I have to learn.
I feel great because I came out as the victor, and it's not been an easy journey for me to get here, as I lost in the All Africa Junior Championships in the quarterfinals.
I've lost my quarterfinals, and that doesn't make me qualify to the next round. And yeah, it's a hard luck for me, and yeah, it keeps something in my mind that I really have to go back and work really hard, and maybe next time.
The semi-finals and finals will be played tomorrow, Wednesday, the 1st of March 2023 at the Lugogo Indoor Arena. Grace Joyce Kemgisa, UBC News.
And that is all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for being part of the bulletins. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa with the whole team here. Wish you the best of the night and the new month of March that we start tomorrow. Bye-bye and good night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. A logical, deeper conversation.
How many teachers in Uganda did you consult? But there's a mistake we are making. Which is good?
Which is good?
Which is good?
Which is good?
We went to this school, we ran it to Western, we ran it to Northern, we ran, then you come.
Isn't that an achievement? Objective and non-partisan.
Honorable Minister, there were a number of points. I want to start with you.
Straight from the hearts of open-minded men and women.
Money tends to move faster at night. So when people are not counting,
don't take it for granted.
Candid and authentic.
Because Uganda is not Thailand.
That's not correct, and we should stop that kind of mentality. So what I'm saying
is a trick question. Don't answer.
I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that.
Tell him you speak Luo.
I think that's where we are beginning to have a problem.
I think what is going to kill the parish model are all the misconceptions on how it's supposed to run.
I know that the Prime Minister is listening.
Behind the headlines.
Charles, let us agree. We liberalized the economy.
We are several nations put together.
Why don't you appreciate that?
What if it fails?
I'm happy
and
to
he's
answer.
a good lawyer because Amin is not in power.
The parish development committee is functional. It is there. That there is a parish chief, that the beneficiary is doing.
So we look at expenditure. We don't look at revenue. And that is the challenge we are giving them from Minister of Finance.
Your fountain of new knowledge, flowing into the mass body of knowledge.
First get the knowledge of Bukedia, how they want to be modernized.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
You return money to the treasury, which is meant for the people.
UBC.